navigate all those things with plenty of options. So if you ever do take like my power yoga class, I try to level up options, starting with some of like the lesser physically intense options and then building up from there. So today we're gonna kind of go over all of those like lesser intensive options, but I'm also gonna break down a lot of the foundational pieces that build sort of like what you'll see as a dynamic yoga class. So also within this, like if there's any point in time you have questions on things, don't ever hesitate to ask. I can talk about yoga literally, and probably will talk about yoga until forever from here on out. So I'm always somebody that I kind of ask why. I'm like very inquiry based in that way. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why does this feel good? Why does that feel good? Da, da, da. So if you ever have those questions, I love to talk about it. I love to answer those questions. I actually just finished teaching a 30-hour training this past weekend about the neuroscience of yoga and meditation. So that's kind of the things that are in my head. So if you are ever asking or wondering why, this is a particular practice that people like to do to kind of get into that space. I would love to go over that, and I'm happy to go over those things as well. In yoga, we typically think that like this is a moving meditation, and when we talk about meditation, it's anything that kind of gets you out of like the chaos of your mind. So for some people, they are meditating when they're washing their hands. They're meditating when they're running. I know like when my mom started taking yoga, she's like, walking is my meditation. And I'm like, damn girl, yes it is, absolutely. Because it helps just to get her out of some of the more daunting habit patterns of the mind. So that's what we do in yoga. Particularly in vinyasa yoga, vinyasa means movement with the breath. So movement with the breath, meaning two ways. We either, each time we move, we breathe, and each time we breathe, we move in a little bit faster paced classes. So today we're gonna do, I'm really excited again, we're gonna start this kind of beginner series. So come to a comfortable seat. A comfortable seat looks different for everybody. For me, it's like a simple cross-leg position. You can have your legs out wide. You can be laying down. You can even come up on your knees. But anywhere that, yes, girl, get it. Anywhere that you feel like you can start to lengthen out the spine is important. So perfect. So coming into any yoga class, I kind of just like to do a quick introductory 3-part, you can call it a meditation. I call it like a little bit of grounding. So it kind of sets a good clear space for the rest of our practice for that day. So let's just take our shoulders all the way up to our ears, draw them back, press them down away, open up that space, roll them forward together, and a couple more times just like that. Especially if you're someone who, and keep going as I talk, especially if you're someone who is working on the computer all day, staring at screens, we tend to kind of hunch over and our posture gets a little bit more closed for the day. So we can just kind of start to manipulate the shoulders, open the shoulders, and then go in the opposite direction, rolling them forward. Your shoulder is such a crazy town part of your body because there's so much going on in there. Yeah, if you want to integrate some neck rolls, go ahead. Just anything that you can maybe find a little bit more space. And then let's take one big roll back with the shoulders. So the shoulder blades sort of maybe come together just a little bit. The chest broadens out a little bit. And if it's comfortable, you can maybe close the eyes. So for just these first few moments, I always like to ask my students to sort of connect with the body. Just kind of feel what your body feels like right now. Noticing if there are places that are particularly tight. Maybe it's the hips, maybe it's the low back, the hamstrings, the shoulders, upper back, wherever it might be. And notice places of the body that maybe feel a little bit more open, just so we can kind of look at this comparison of what tightness feels like and what openness feels like. And then I'm going to ask you, just kind of imagine what it would feel like if some of those tighter places were to open a little bit. Seeing if we can maybe do what we can do if it's a shift in posture, But whatever it is that we can do to maybe release some of the tension there just as we sit. A lot of times we participate in what I call like this protective tension, this tension that we might not even know that we're holding on to. I kind of define tension as, again, that stuff that we hold on to that we don't need to hold on to. It's different than engagement. So as we sit, let's just see if we can maybe draw the crown of the head a little bit more up towards the ceiling. You can imagine almost as if there was just a little tiny bit of space growing in between each vertebrae. When we do this, we create a little bit more space in the lungs. We help to open up the rib cage. So you might notice here that as we do that, and in order, if you're sitting, in order to sit up straight, there's a little bit of engagement in the belly. That's totally perfect. And even let's explore that. Pull the belly button back just a little bit. See if that little bit of engagement helps to create a little bit more space, making it just a little bit taller. And as you come to this kind of strong seat, and by strong, I mean sort of, again, this good foundation in your seat. Let's take one dive deeper and let's just take a brief look into the breath. Trying to keep the breath as natural as possible. It's also supernatural that as we focus in on the breath and pay attention to it, that we have some kind of control over it. That's fine too. But in the same way as we looked at the body as sort of like an observer of the body, let's look at the breath as sort of an observer of the breath. Releasing any kind of like preconception about what like a quote unquote yogi breath looks like, feels like, anything like that, but really just paying attention to what your breath looks like and feels like. Noting just a few things like the pace of the breath, if it's sort of slow and rhythmic, noticing the depth of the breath. So physically where the breath goes within the body. Some of us keep that breath up tight to the collarbones. Others of us maybe feel as though we're breathing all the way down behind the belly button. So wherever it is you're starting out, let's start to deepen the breath just a bit. Again, imagining sending that breath to the back of the belly button. The belly goes soft. And maybe you invite a little bit of sound. It's like sometimes that sound when you know someone's getting like a really great sleep right next to you. It's like that almost calming, like oceanic sound that you can make by constricting the back of your throat just a bit. With each and every breath, see if the belly can get softer and the crown can grow just a little higher. For me, I always like to think the more space that I have in my physical body, so the more tension I can release, the more space I have for my breath. The more I can slow my breath down. When I start to slow my breath down, that sends signals to my brain that basically says, I feel good, I feel safe, I'm not anxious. And the brain then is going to feed back in the same way. So you can choose to keep your focus just here, or an option is to maybe dive one level deeper and look into the mind itself. So just begin to, in that same observation seat, start to watch thoughts as they come by. And maybe your focus is in on your breath and it can stay exactly there. But a lot of us tend to have sort of these highly connected habit patterns, especially if we're feeling anxious, especially if we're feeling like we didn't mark off everything on our to-do lists. We tend to have those thoughts kind of fly by. We almost have like this streaming thought pattern all day. So that breath can help to kind of turn the volume down on that just a little bit. So watching these thoughts as they come by, not tying anything to them necessarily, but just observing, not sitting within them too deeply. And we begin to come out the same way we came in. So drawing attention back in on the breath. And then drawing attention back up and into the physical body, maybe just a little bit of rolling with the wrists, maybe a little wiggling with the fingers. And if you have your eyes closed, we can gently start to blink the eyes back open. And hi guys, thank you for that. So just a little bit of, just a few words about that. Just the way that you would warm up for a physical kettlebell practice or field hockey practice or soccer practice, anything else, that is kind of like our mental warm up for our yoga practice. It gets us into a space where we can start to focus in just a little bit. So let's take one community deep inhale all together, go. And exhale. The next inhale is gonna sweep the palms all the way up overhead. Let's hook the thumbs, drop the shoulders down, soften the belly forward, and take the gaze all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, we open the palms, drop the palms back, down, around. Inhale, sweep the palms up, open the palms at the top, exhale, drop them back, down, around. One more big circle just like that. Open at the top, exhale, drop them back, down, around. From right here, you can walk the fingertips forward. Inhale, open up the chest, ground down through the hips, meaning keep the hips down into the ground. And exhale, just start to lean forward just a little bit, keeping the chest, the gaze up. And once you feel as though you've gone as far as you can go, drop the chin down to the chest. For some of us, that might be pretty straight up tall, or we might be folded all the way down. Either way, we start to feel opening in the low back. Take one big breath into the folded belly, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, start to roll the vertebrae up one at a time. We sweep the palms all the way up overhead, and exhale, drop the left hand over to the right knee. Left hand to right knee. We sweep the right palm all the way up and over to the side. So we're opening up this lateral line on the right side. Try to see if we can take a peek underneath the right bicep up at the ceiling. That helps to open up that right shoulder. Drop both shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, the right palm lifts. Roll the shoulder from the shoulder joint, not just kind of opening from the wrist. Roll the shoulder from the shoulder joint so the palm face is back, and then drop the hand just behind the sacrum like a second spine. We inhale, grow through the crown, exhale, find a deeper twist, stay grounded in that left hip. So for some of us, we'll sacrifice that grounding to try to twist deeper, but it doesn't really help open up the spine. So we want to anchor down through the left. Take a big breath, inhale, exhale. Another deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, we sweep both palms all the way back up overhead. Open up the palms, drop them back, down. Inhale as we sweep them back up. And exhale, we're gonna drop over to the other side. So the right hand drops over to the left knee. Sweep and lift that left palm all the way up. Again, we open up that left shoulder just a bit by trying to peek underneath the bicep. A deep breath, stay grounded through the right hip. Inhale, exhale. The next inhale guides that left palm up. We open up by rotating from the shoulder and then drop the left hand right down behind the sacrum. Inhale, we lift up through the crown, and exhale, twist over top the left. Again, try to find a little bit of grounding through that right hip. Inhale, exhale. Another deep breath, inhaling as we try to grow the crown up, lengthen the spine, and exhale as we deepen the twist. The next inhale, we sweep both palms all the way up overhead. Exhale, we drop the palms down just outside and maybe a little bit behind the hips. The fingertips face forward. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And two options. We can either just choose to broaden the chest up, just here, Or we can start to lift the hips. Body comes up onto the shins. Inhale. And exhale, release all the way back down into the seat. Next, inhale, the palms lift. And exhale, we drop the palms back out in front. Two options. We can use the fingers as like little grips on the mat to pull ourselves up and over top the knees. Or you can simply just roll to one side, meet us in tabletop. So either way, making your way to tabletop. So in tabletop is actually a very active posture. We want to press the mat away, keep the elbows buoyant, and we want to press the mat away in a way that engages the chest, the shoulder girdle, and the back. So in order to feel that, untuck the toes, and then go ahead, start to press into the tops of the feet and maybe lift the knees up just a bit. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale, drop the knees back down, but keep that engagement up in the chest and the upper half of the body. From right here, if you notice that your wrists start to get a little bit sore, press down into the big knuckle on the first finger, the thumb, and the baby finger. So that helps to distribute the weight through the entire palm and not just drop the weight down into the wrists. From here, we're going to soften the belly down, roll the shoulder blades back together, open up the chest, either look forward or maybe even take a peek all the way up at the ceiling. This is called cow posture because you kind of look like beautiful, gorgeous cows. Gorgeous cows. Inhale, soften the belly. And as we exhale, I'm going to pull the belly button back to the spine. I'm going to take my shoulders almost as if they were to squeeze the sternum forward. So my shoulder blades open up, drop the chin to the chest. This is called cat. It almost kind of looks like a scaredy cat, right? So inhale, drop the belly down, open the chest, look forward. Exhale, take it all the way back to that cat shape. Inhale, drop the belly down, open up, look forward. Exhale, take it back. Continue to move through these two shapes. Inhaling down into the cow. I'm just gonna come take a peek and exhaling back up into that cat shape. Awesome job, guys. Beautifully done. Couple more rounds. Maybe going just a little bit slower, really focusing on finding every single vertebrae as you move up and through. And when you feel ready, we drop back down into the neutral spine. So that neutral spine, our gaze is low. Try to see if you can almost stretch the crown towards the top of your mat. From right here, I'm going to ask that you roll your elbows back. So we open up the collarbones and my elbows start to bend back into my body, almost like a camel. Yes, awesome. Two things. This helps to actually lift our collarbones off of the top of the lung. So by moving in this way, instead of moving out this way, we open up the lungs just a little bit more. And that's why you'll see everyone in yoga who does like yogi push-ups, they're here and not all the way out to the side. So from right here, let's just soften the elbows back a little bit. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze one more time into that cow shape. And exhale, roll it back into that cat. Make it a little bit bigger. Inhale, drop belly down, open up cow. And exhale, take it all the way back and up. Drop back down to the neutral spine. From here, take the right hand to the back of the right hip. Right hand to the back of the right hip. I'm going to now try to open up and peek up at the ceiling over my right shoulder. Try to keep that right hip in line with the left. So we twist open from the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Try to get a peek up at the ceiling. And from here, inhale the right hand to the right shoulder. We maybe open up a little further. Try to keep the hips in line and sweep the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to drop the right hand underneath the left, drop the right shoulder all the way down to the mat to come into like a twisted child's pose. Awesome. Stay right there for 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine sending that breath to the whole right side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling, pressing through the left palm, sweeping that right palm all the way up, and exhale, dropping the right hand down next to the left. Moving to the other side, inhale that left hand to the back of the left hip. We twist open from the belly. So imagine like right below the rib cage is where we want to open from, and sweep the left fingertips up all the way. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, we start to drop that left palm down, left shoulder down to the ground, and come into that same twisted child's pose on this side. Awesome, taking 2 deep breaths here. When we're also warming up for a vinyasa class, we like to move the spine in 6 different directions before we start. So this is why we do some of these bends and twists as we start to warm up. The next inhale is gonna have the right hand press through the mat, sweep that left palm all the way back up, and exhale, drop it right back down. Once again, find that tabletop shape. Let's take the right toes all the way back, tuck the right toes, just start to press back and forth to open up that back right calf. Take an inhale and exhale, settle into a little bit of stillness to open up that calf. So just as an example, typically right here, I would give you an option to amp this up a little bit and do a little bit of strength. So if you want to take that option with me, we're going to keep the right toes tucked, start to lift the left knee up and into the chest, and exhale, tap the left knee down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, tap it down. Once again, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, drop the left knee down. So you can see in some of these postures, we can opt for a long held stretch or a little bit of strength. Take a breath, inhale. And exhale, we're gonna start to squeeze the right glute, flex the right foot, lift the right leg up, and we can sweep that left palm all the way out ahead. So coming into a spinal balance, tuck the belly back nice and tight towards the spine. Inhale, exhale. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, start to drop everything back down. Inhale, soften the belly down, gazes forward, back to cow. And exhale, take it right back into the cat shape. Drop back down to a neutral spine, inhale. And exhale, let's sweep the left toes back. Again, just a few pulses back and forth to help gently open up the calf. Inhale. And exhale, settle into a little bit of stillness. Hold just here. Inhale. And exhale. So again, choosing to take either that open stretch option or maybe a little bit of strength. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale, either hold or start to pull that right knee up and into the chest. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, pull it up. Exhale, drop it down. One more. Inhale, pull it up. Exhale, drop that right knee down. If it was lifted, start to sweep that left foot up and back. Squeeze the left glute and let those right fingertips fly all the way forward. Pull the belly button back to the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome job, guys. Another breath. Inhale. And exhale. Drop the right hand down. Drop the left hand down. From here, we're going to take the knees out wide to the edges of your mat, or if you're not on a mat, just to the outside of your hips. Draw the big toes together and start to set the seat all the way back. You can start to bring the chest down, or you can even stay up on your elbows just here if that's more comfortable. Maybe you take the forehead down to the mat. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Allow the belly to be soft. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine each breath washing all the way up through the rib cage to the front, back, sides of the lungs, everywhere. This particular pose gives you a lot of extension through the upper torso, gives you a lot of room to literally breathe, a lot of room for a little bit of that expansion. So in today's class, and any power class, and any yoga class in general, if you ever need a mental break, a physical break to catch your breath, drop right down into this pose. It's child's pose. Drop right down into this shape and give yourself just a few moments of stillness just here. So let's all together take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck the toes and sweep the seat up all the way to the ceiling to come into downward facing dog. So if this is our first down dog of the day, or if we have really tight hamstrings, let's soften into the knees. So we bend the knees and we start to drop the hips back quite a bit. So you can imagine if I had my hand on your sacrum, so just here on the low back and in between the shoulder blades, and I'm pressing you back just a little bit. So downward facing dog is meant to lengthen out the spine. That's the priority, to lengthen out the spine. So let's drop the shoulders down away from the ears, and also then to lengthen out the back of the legs. So let's take a deep inhale. Let's lift all the way up onto the ball mounds of the feet if you're not quite there yet. And exhale, see if you can sink the heels down just a little bit. You can keep the knees slightly bent. Inhale, lift up onto the ball mounds of the feet. And exhale, sink the heels down. Inhale, one more time, lift up. And exhale, sink the heels down. Let's all together shorten the gait a little bit. So some of us are out kind of wide, like I am right here. Let's take a half a step towards up towards the wrists. Bend into the knees and drop the hips back. Take the gaze to the belly button. This is going to help lengthen out the back of the neck. A deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Soften into the knees. Look forward. And as you exhale, step the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale. We're going to take a half lift. So maybe for you, that means that your hands are still on the ground. You can open up the chest enough to lift up, look forward. Maybe the knees are slightly bent and we take the hands up onto the shins and we're here. Exhale, forward fold. Let's soften into the knees and inhale. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. The palms come up overhead. Exhale, drop the hands down through a prayer shape and then open the palms just out to the sides of the body. This pose is called mountain pose, and it's pretty much exactly what you're doing, standing at the top of your mat. But just as we can say that that seated posture in the beginning of class is just sitting, we know it's a little bit deeper. So let's find our foundation in our stance. Let's rock up and onto the ball mounds of the feet, drop down onto the heels, rock back to the heels, and with purpose, drop the ball mounds of the feet down. In the same way, we grounded in sort of those three spaces of our palms when we were on the ground. Let's ground down through the big toe knuckle, the baby toe knuckle, and the heel. So these kind of three corners of the foot. Soften the shoulders back, close the eyes for just a moment, and see with each inhale if you can grow the spine by lifting the crown to the ceiling just a little bit more. Maybe the belly button tucks back. Again, sort of that same little bit of an engagement. When you're ready for your next inhale, we sweep the palms all the way up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees just a bit. Crown down to the ground, almost like you're looking at your belly button. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms down, step the feet back. We come into our first plank pose. Hold in your plank pose, pull the belly button back to the spine. If this starts to get really intense, keep the length of your plank pose and just start to drop your knees down and untuck your toes. Take another deep breath. Inhale and exhale. We're all going to drop our knees down. Our elbows bend back just like we were in warm-up, so almost like that camel. We drop the chin, the chest down to the mat. Inhale, sweep up the chest just a little bit. Exhale, drop the chin back down and then press back into the child's pose. So if there is any reason that you wish to not lay on your belly, for whatever reason it might be, you can skip all of that and just drop into the child's pose. Inhale, let's tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the seat back into the downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, soften into the knees, gaze goes forward, and exhale, start to step the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, soften the knees, and inhale, let's sweep all the way up, palms lift up overhead. This time as we exhale, we're gonna drop right back down into the forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Exhale, plant the palms down, step the feet back, plank pose. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Either drop the knees, the chest, the chin down, or drop the knees down and shift right back into child's pose. If you're dropped down all the way onto the belly, inhale, sweep the chest up, little cobra, and exhale, drop back, child's pose. Knee is back. Inhale, tuck the toes, and exhale, send the hips lifted, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, soften into the knees, look forward, and exhale, step the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, soften into the knees, and then start to sweep the palms all the way up overhead. And exhale, we're gonna take it back down, forward fold. We're gonna step the feet 2 fist distance apart. So 2 fists should fit just inside of the arches of the feet. This helps to get the feet hips distance or inner hips distance. Bend into the knees nice and deep, send the hips back. Next, inhale, just the chest lifts up. Sweep the palms up overhead, drop the shoulders down away from the spine. Tuck the belly button to the spine. So sometimes we all have like this posterior tilt. We want to tuck that in just a little bit, nice straight spine. Inhale. Exhale, another breath. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms down, step back, plank pose. So option to amp this up a little bit. You can either hold here. Next option is to drop your knees and drop right back into child's pose if there's any reason that you don't want to drop down onto the belly. We can do knees, chest, chin like we've just done, or we can come into chaturanga, yogi push-up. So we press up through the toes. I bend the elbows so they're 90 degrees with my body. And then inhale, open up into a big cobra. So belly is soft, shoulders are rolled back, chest is forward. Inhale and exhale. Tuck the toes, send it back, downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, meet us in down dog. Inhale, exhale. When you're ready, inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg, just the right leg. Bend that right knee, open up the hip to the side. Inhale, sweep that right leg back up nice and high. And then exhale, nice and smooth. Step the right foot up inside of that right thumb. So like a low lunge shape. We're gonna drop the back left knee down, untuck the toes, hook the thumbs, sweep the palms up, come into a nice low lunge. So you can either keep the palms lifted, you can drop the palms right down on top of the right thigh. Either way, try to shift yourself forward a little bit so we have a really deep opening in the left hip flexor. Soften the shoulders back. If you're up here, we can stay just here. Inhale and exhale. Open up the palms, drop the palms back, down, around. Fingertips frame that right foot. For some of us, we can choose to stay right here, or we're going to start to drop the hips back to come into what's called a runner's lunge. So we can drop back just here. If you have blocks or even a table, you can kind of leverage yourself up. Try not to just press down on your knee for stability. Try to get something a little bit more stable. For some of us, we can maybe drop all the way back onto that leg. And if you are all the way back like I am here, I'm gonna ask that you go around and reach for your farthest grip, either around that foot, down to the ankle, the calf, wherever it might be. Awesome, guys. Inhale, exhale. The next inhale, we roll back over top that right foot. Hook the thumbs, reach all the way back up. Open up the palms, drop the palms back, down, around. Fingertips frame that right foot. We tuck the back toe, lift the left knee. Plant the palms down, step the right foot all the way back. Take a breath. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, or right back to child's pose. Inhale, open up the chest to a lower high cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes. Everybody send the hips back, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, lift the left leg high. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Inhale, sweep that left leg nice and high. And then exhale, we're gonna step the left foot up inside of the left thumb. Drop the back right knee down, hook the thumbs, Once again, we reach up, we find ourselves in low lunge on the left side. Awesome. Try to pull the heart forward towards the top of the mat. Pull the hips forward just a little bit. Again, nice big opening in that right hip flexor. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here together. Inhale. And as we exhale, open up the palms, drop the palms back, down, around. Fingertips frame the left foot, tuck the back right toe, lift the knee. Step the left foot all the way back to meet the right. Inhale, plank pose, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, release it back, downward facing dog. 2 big breaths here. Inhale, exhale, and another. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, soften into the knees, look forward, and exhale, step the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Once again, step the feet 2 fist distance apart. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. We bend the knees, hips set back, and inhale, open up into the chair pose. We're gonna do 3 big breaths here in this chair pose. So what we just did are called sun salutations. Sun salutations are meant to target each part of the body, warm the body up, build a little bit of heat so we can deepen into a more physical practice. Inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. We're gonna soften the knees. Next, inhale, draws us all the way up to stand, 1 vertebrae at a time. Palm sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands drop to heart center, and then we open back up, Tadasana, that mountain pose. Soften the shoulders, up, back, down, around. Inhale, sweep the palms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, we're gonna plant the palms down. Step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. So we come back into that low lunge shape. Instead of dropping that right knee down this time, inhale, look forward a bit. Exhale, soften the shoulders back. The next inhale, press through the left foot and the ball mound of the right foot to lift the chest up, come into a high lunge. So it's a deep high lunge, 90 degree with that front knee. Yep. And then do me a favor, press that left knee out to the left side of the mat a little bit. Left knee to the left side of the mat. That activates a lot of these big muscle groups that's on the side of our left leg. Help us protect our knee, strengthen up the glute. Take a big breath. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. This time, as we exhale, we're gonna drop the back right heel down. We're gonna open up, almost if someone was rotating your right thigh, opening up to the right, and sweep the palms all the way out in line with the shoulders. Yep, so open up the chest so it's in line with the hips. So chest is to the side, and I gaze out over top that center finger coming into warrior 2. Awesome job, guys, awesome job. So left hand is in line with the left shoulder, right hand is in line with the back shoulder, and let's see if we can take a deeper bend into that front left leg. So a little deeper into that warrior 2 shape, yeah. I want you to imagine as if your inner thighs are trying to roll outward to meet where your outer thighs are. A deep breath, inhale. Exhale, we're gonna flip the front left palm. Now keep that bend in that left knee and then sweep the left palm up to the ceiling for what's called peaceful warrior. Awesome, you look very peaceful. Inhale. Exhale, another breath. Inhale. Exhale, release all the way back into that warrior 2 shape. Keep that left knee pressed out to the left side. We're gonna bend the left elbow, plant the left forearm down on top of the left thigh, and draw the right hand to the right shoulder. We're gonna open up the right shoulder. So those same kind of concepts that we did in warm up, open up the right shoulder and sweep the right palm up to the sky. So this is a modified side angle, beautifully done. Inhale, deep bend into that left knee. Exhale, leading with the right fingertips. Inhale, come back up into the warrior 2. Exhale, settle in. The next inhale, the right hand is gonna come down, around. We're gonna come up and onto the ball mound to the back right foot and back into the high lunge to face the top of the mat. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale, 2 options. You're either gonna step the right foot up to meet the left, or you're gonna catch the right knee up and into the chest at the top of the mat. If you stepped up, find your grounding in that left foot and start to lift the right knee up and into the chest. Soften the shoulders back, broaden the chest up just a bit. Inhale. Exhale, you guys are doing great. Remember those 3 corners of the foot. Stay grounded through the big toe knuckle, the baby toe knuckle, the heel. If and when you're ready, we start to take the right hand to the front. I'm gonna turn this way. We're gonna take the right hand to the front of the right knee. We're gonna sweep the left palm open and then start to open that right knee out to the side. You can choose to pause just here, or maybe those right toes come down to the ground and into the ankle, almost like a kickstand. Maybe they come up onto the calf. They're definitely gonna skip over top the knee because we have enough going on in there, or maybe that foot comes to the inner thigh. Awesome. So we wanna find this equal pressure. I'm pressing my foot into my thigh just as much as I'm pressing my thigh into my foot. The same goes for the calf. So I'm finding this equal pressure. Awesome. No matter how many times you biff out, come right back in. Awesome. And inhale, sweep the palms all the way up overhead. Try to press that right knee towards the back of the mat, so we really open up that thigh. Awesome job, guys. Inhale. Exhale. Beautifully done. Next, inhale draws the palms right back to the front of the knee. We hug the knee back up and into the chest. From here, sweep the palms up overhead. Try to keep that knee lifted high, just using your core muscles. Inhale. And as we exhale, drop the right toes down. Flex that glute just like we did in the warm-up. Take the chest down and we find a warrior 3. You can sweep the palms out. We can hold the hands right next to the hips. We can cross the hands, come into a prayer. Whatever you want to do with your hands, doesn't matter. Keep that glute squeezed. Chest down, gaze is down. It's something non-moving. Inhale and exhale, soften back. Right foot drops to the back of the mat and we revisit that high lunge. Open up the palms. Next exhale, we fold. Hands come to frame the left foot. Step the left foot back, plank pose. Inhale and exhale, lower down any way you want. Inhale, open up the chest. And exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. 2 big breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. And inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, soften into the knees, look forward, and exhale, step the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, crown to the ground, tuck the chin in. Soften the knees and inhale, let's sweep all the way up overhead, palms lift. Exhale, the hands down to the heart and open up that mountain shape. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, sweep the palms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the palms down. This time we step the left foot back. I'm just gonna move to the opposite side. We step the left foot all the way back. Once again, find that low lunge. Inhale, try to take the gaze forward, drop the shoulders back, exhale. The next inhale presses us all the way up into the high lunge. Hold here for just a moment. Deepen into the knee just a little bit and then press that right knee out to the right side. So once again, we engage all those muscles on the right side of the body. Notice that if one side feels maybe a little bit more tight or a little bit more open, we can adjust as we need. Inhale. And exhale, rotate the back heel down. Open the palms up so the right fingertips are facing the same way the right toes are. The left fingertips are back just behind. Soften the shoulders up, back, and down, and deepen into that knee. Press the right knee out to the right side of the mat. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. Inhale. Exhale. Really quick, we didn't do this on the opposite side, but we can do it now. Take a look down at your feet. That front heel should be bisecting or basically in the same line as the arch of the back heel. If it's not, go ahead, adjust. Sometimes we'll have like a little bit more of like this open stance. So we want to just find a little bit of that linear stance. Awesome job. You guys look great. Flip that front right palm and inhale, take it up and back. Bend back into that right knee if you lift it up and out. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, come right back into the warrior two shape. Bend at the right elbow, plant it down on top of the right thigh. Take the left hand to the left shoulder. Stack the left shoulder on top of the right. If you can imagine sort of aligning them in the same plane, and then sweep the left fingertips all the way up. A big deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Leading with the left fingertips. Inhale. Release all the way back up into the warrior two. Exhale, deepen in just a little bit. The next inhale takes the left hand down, around. We come up and onto the ball down to the left foot. Come back into that high lunge shape. Exhale, settle in for a moment. The next inhale, we're either gonna step that left foot up or step that left knee up and into the chest, catching the left knee at the top of the mat. Awesome. Go ahead. From right here, let's soften the shoulders back. So again, we want to be strong in our foundation before we start to move. So finding that foundation through the right foot, through the right leg. Inhale. Exhale. From here, the left hand starts to move to the front of the left knee. We sweep the right palm up. We take that left knee out to the side of the body and go ahead and plant your tree. So this is our tree pose. So either planting it down into the ground at the ankle, the calf, skipping over the knee, and maybe drawing the sole of that left foot up and into the thigh. We use our breath to find balance. We use our breath to find focus. Beautifully done. Inhale, let's sweep the palms all the way up overhead. Hold just here. Exhale. Another breath. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And as we exhale, we hug that left knee up and into the chest. Let's sweep the left toes down. Squeeze the glute. That left foot shifts right up the chest down to find a warrior three shape. Try to keep the hips on the same plane. Yep. Awesome. Awesome job. Awesome job. Flex that back left foot that's flying. Inhale. And exhale, let the left toes fly all the way to the back of the mat. Sweep the palms up for a high lunge. Exhale, open up the palms, drop them down to frame the right foot, step the right foot back, plank pose. Inhale, exhale, lower down any way you want. Inhale, the chest lifts, and exhale, let's all take it back into that wide-legged child's pose. So the knees open up, the big toes drop together, we drop the hips back, maybe forehead to the ground, maybe up on the elbows. Again, you can create a little bit of space for whatever reason you don't want to go on your belly. Inhale. Exhale. Another breath. Inhale. Exhale. From right here, let's come back up into that tabletop shape. We're gonna come out a similar way to where we came in. Let's everybody just walk the knees to the top edge of the mat. We can either cross the ankles behind and roll back to a seat, or whatever way you wanna roll back into that seat, drop back into that comfortable seat where we started. If you started up on your knees, come down to your tush because we're gonna just sweep the feet out in front. Inhale, let's hook the thumbs, reach up, and exhale, gently start to fold forward. If you have super tight hamstrings, bend your knees. Start with your knees bent. Keep the spine straight. Start to drop forward, and then drop your head down, your chin to your chest. We're gonna take a few breaths in this forward fold. If you do have those tight hamstrings and your knees are bent, maybe within a few breaths, you can see if you can start to straighten out the legs just a little bit. Not going past any point of pain. A deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale, start to open up the chest. The palms sweep all the way up overhead. And exhale. Bring the soles of the feet down into the mat. Soften the shoulders back. Broaden the chest up. So opening up like right from the front of that heart space. Straighten out the back. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe you come up onto your tippy toes. Maybe those knees come up and into a strong tabletop. Maybe you start to straighten out your legs. Wherever you are, hold, inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Drop the feet right back down. We can soften the belly. We can open up the knees. Draw the chest forward. So back is a little straight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We sweep the palms all the way up overhead. And exhale. We start to lay down all the way flat on our mat. So my knees are still bent. My soles of the feet are down into the mat. And I'm going to walk the soles of my feet up towards my bottom. So my fingertips can just graze the back of my heels. This puts my feet and my knees in a nice, strong foundation line. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. You can start to lift the hips up, come into a bridge pose. You can also choose just to stay down if that's more comfortable. Take a big breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Start to drop all the way down onto the back. You can drop the knees in together. Just try not to hug the knees up and into the chest just yet. So we're going to do one more back bend shape. You can take, if you prefer to take a deeper shape, maybe you come up and into a full wheel. Go ahead, set yourself up, take a breath, inhale, and exhale. Go ahead, press the hips up. Maybe if you come up into that wheel, or press up, maybe we're walking the heels even in just a little bit. Inhale, exhale, and another breath. Inhale, exhale. If you're in wheel, start to tuck the chin in. Everybody start to drop the hips all the way back down into the ground. From here, stretch the palms up above the head. A deep inhale. You can send the feet down towards the bottom of the mat. And exhale, hug the knees up and into the chest. Release the left leg long. We're going to keep the right knee up and in. Take the right hand to the outer edge of the right foot. Knee is deeply bent. We're going to start to pull that right knee up and into the right armpit. So coming into basically a lizard pose on our back. Yeah, awesome. So we're getting sort of deep into the right glute, even deeper into the right hamstring. Take a big breath, a little compression into the right hip flexor. Exhale. The next inhale, hug that knee to the chest, and then we're going to take the right ankle over top of the left thigh in a figure 4. And again, 2 options. You can either just start to bend up the left knee, plant the left foot down into the ground, and stay just here. If that's enough of a stretch, we're opening up the back of that right hip. Or maybe for a little deeper, we start to hug that left knee up and into the chest. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. And another inhale. Exhale. Start to release the left knee wherever you are. We're going to drop the sole of the left foot back down into the ground. So if you were there already, stay just there. We're going to cross the right knee over top the left. Send the palms out wide to the sides, palms down into the ground for a little bit of stability. Drop the knees over to the left side. Take a look over top the right shoulder. So we just come into a little bit of a spinal twist. Inhale. Exhale. And another breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hug both knees up and into the chest. You can uncross the left over top the right. Drop the right all the way down, out and away. Keep the left tucked in. We start to draw the left hand to the outer edge of the left foot and start to drop the left knee up and into the left armpit. Again, opening up the left glutes, the hamstring. A deep breath, inhale. And exhale, hug the knee back into the center-ish of the chest. Take the left ankle over top of the right thigh, and then start to bend the right knee up, either planting the sole of the right foot down onto the ground or starting to hug the right knee up and into the chest. A deeper opening in the back of the left hip. Take 2 big breaths. Inhale. Exhale, especially when we get into these deeper hip openers. Eventually, when we do them sort of on the belly, using that breath to, again, sort of find these places of tension where we can let go a little deeper. Take 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. If you have that right leg hugged up and in, start to release it. We meet with the sole of the foot back down on the ground. Left knee crosses over top the right. Drop both knees over to the right side. Open up the palms, gaze over to the left. So again, just sort of this nice deep back twist, this spinal twist. Inhale. Exhale. And another breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hug both knees into the chest. And let's just sweep the feet all the way up. So feet are over top knees, over top hips, coming into what's called waterfall. So I like to always end every class, really no matter what class it is, with just a little bit of an inversion, an opportunity for us to change gravity in the body, get off of our feet for the day. And let's just take 3 big breaths together here. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. And inhale. Exhale, 3. Maybe hugging the knees into the chest, taking any last posture, any last shape that you feel will nourish the body. For some people, it's happy baby, where we grab the outer edge of both feet. Allows the sacrum to straighten out. Maybe we just hug the knees in, and then we send the feet all the way down, open up the palms, kind of mimicking the most naturally and relaxed position for our body. You can tuck the chin down just a bit, lengthen out the back of the spine, and close the eyes if it's comfortable. And we're just gonna be here for just about the next minute. So this pose called Shavasana. A lot of teachers will tell you this is the hardest shape that we take all day, because we're not focused on engaging somewhere of our body, but we're sort of left to the devices of the mind when we're here. So I'm gonna invite you to, again, revisit sort of that same concept where we started. So again, kind of coming in the same way we came out. Maybe first drawing attention into the physical body. Noticing any areas that feel a bit open. Any areas that feel maybe still stiff and maybe still tight. Imagining what it would be like to breathe some openness, send some open attention into those spaces. Recognizing that there might still be spaces where we insist on engaging, even though we don't need to just now. And as you're ready, focusing in on the breath. Just allowing the mind to really focus on the inhales, the exhales, the depth, the length, the feeling of that breath. And maybe you stay right here, or maybe you take that third dive deep into the layers of the mind. Just easy noting without judgment, easy noting without sort of categories like good or bad, but just noting things for what they are as they are. And if you're in that space, we all start to deepen the breath. Draw in a nice big inhale. Helps us get back into the breath body, a little bit into the physical body. Let's draw some movement into the fingertips and toes. And when you're ready for something bigger, let's sweep the palms all the way up overhead. Hug the knees into the chest and come back up into that comfortable seat. Soften the shoulders, back down, around. Inhale, we sweep the palms all the way up overhead. Exhale, drop the palms down right in front of the heart center. Pressing the fingertips in together, pressing the backs of the thumbs into that heart space. Let's take one big community inhale. And exhale, namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys crushed it. Crushed it. Thank you, guys. Great job. Great job. Again, as always, if you have any questions, I'm always here to help answer anything you got.
That was awesome, Liz. Thank you.
You're awesome. You guys are
Wonderful.
That was great. Holy moly.
awesome.
You the
Good.
best.
I hope you feel good. I hope you feel good. A little bit of focus out of the chaos of the day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. See you soon.
There she is.
There
Hi.
I go. That was great.
Hi.
I was able to stay with that one.
Awesome. Good. Good. I hope it was a little bit more of a breakdown.
Yeah, no, it was great. I thought it was great. Jack texted
Okay.
me about 15 minutes ago. He's like, I lost connection at the park.
Okay.
But he stayed
Yeah.
with us for 45 minutes, so that was good.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
cool. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And then we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to try to do that one too.
Okay. You got this. If you got that, you got this. And now you know all the most of the options.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you, Liz.
Thanks, babe. See
I'll
you
talk to
later.